fabric of history, fashion's untold stories. And this episode is about the soul revolution and how sneakers kicked down the doors of the fashion industry. So in the history of sneakers, we're going to do a deep dive into the world of footwear. From their origins in sports to becoming a staple in streetwear and pop culture. You know, once upon a time, sneakers were humble servants to the sports courts and gymnasiums. Just mere canvas and rubber concocted for the sweaty pursuits of the athletically inclined. But dear viewers, like Cinderella's slipper, the sneaker was destined for an extraordinary fate. A metamorphosis that would see it waltz out of the locker room to the fashion runways, capturing hearts and wallets worldwide along the way.
This is the Air Jordan 1. It's an iconic shoe made by Nike for basketball legend Michael Jordan. It's a piece of footwear history. If you're into sneakers at all, then you've probably either owned or wanted a pair of these. Maybe they're even your grails. But did you know that the Air Jordan 1 was once banned by the NBA? Or was it really? The year is 1983 and Michael Jordan is a young college basketball star playing for the University of North Carolina. A promising athlete, MJ would be drafted to the NBA the following year at the 1984 NBA draft as the third overall pick by the Chicago Bulls. Meanwhile, the sportswear company Nike was still a young player in the basketball shoe market. Struggling to keep up with Adidas and Converse, Nike needed to make a bold move fast if they wanted to keep up with their competitors. In 1984, Nike had some great players like Moses Malone and Jamal Wilkes, but they didn't have a marquee player like other brands did. Converse had a roster of superstars like Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson, and Dr. J. Nike wanted their next endorsee to be the face of Nike basketball, someone who would boost the company's profile on the court and bring fresh eyes to Nike. They had a young rookie in mind, but there was one big problem. Michael Jordan did not want to sign with them. In fact, he was 100% reluctant.
So let's start with the cultural leviathan, the Air Jordan. The tale is nothing short of a fairy tale. In 1984, there was a rookie by the name of Michael Jordan. He was signed by Nike, a then nascent player in the basketball shoe market. The Air Jordan took flight, and with it, sneaker culture as we know it today. And with each subsequent release, kids would camp out for days, and adults emptied their pockets, all for a chance to walk in the shoes of his airness. But the Air Jordans were more than just sneakers. They were a status symbol, a marker of cool, an emblem of a sneakerhead's devotion to the art of the dunk, and also the finesse of street style. The shoes leapt over the free throw line of sports, landing squarely in the world of fashion and pop culture. And the collaboration of Tinker Hatfield, the architect behind many of the Jordan designs, transformed the sneaker into a piece of art. Each release eagerly anticipated as the next season's fashion. And then there was the master, Yohji Yamamoto, and his footprint in crafting the avant-garde soul. In the pantheon of sneaker deities, one name stands out, not for its conformity to trends or mass market appeal, but for its unwavering commitment to the avant-garde, and that name is Yohji Yamamoto. The Japanese fashion designer, known for his masterful drapery and somber aesthetic, has carved an indelible footprint in the sneaker revolution with his Y3 brand, a collaboration with Adidas that seamlessly married high fashion with street sensibility. Yamamoto entered the sneaker arena when it was already brimming with competition and noise. Yet his approach was never about the loudest splash, but the most resonant ripple. His partnership began with Adidas in 2003, birthing the Y3 and introducing a new lexicon in footwear that spoke of minimalism and innovation and the art of subtlety. Y3 emerged as a groundbreaking fusion, one that took Adidas's athletic DNA and infused it with Yamamoto's signature design philosophy. The Y stands for Yohji Yamamoto, and the 3 represents the Adidas iconic 3 stripes, and the hyphen symbolizes the bond between the two. It was a collaboration that would redefine the possibilities of sneaker design, elevating the aesthetic to an object of design without sacrificing function or form.
back in 2001, long before athleisure was introduced to mainstream culture. Y3 is the collaboration label between Adidas and Yamamoto, bringing the Japanese designer's sartorial aesthetics to the sports brand and resulting in a fusion of high fashion and advanced performance wear. Unveiled in Paris in 2002, the Y3 brand celebrated its 10th collection with the Autumn-Winter 07-08 men's and women's presentations in New York City. By 2016, Y3 Sport was launched, a capsule collection which focused on functionality. The popular range of sneakers proved to be a big hit amongst celebrities and fashion influencers, earning Yamamoto some serious street cred.
Around 15 years ago, it was a moment that fashion professional people, they started saying maestro, master. At that moment, I felt that I came too far from the street. I was almost losing my enthusiasm for making clothing. I had a big question. And then I watched around carefully the street in New York, street in Paris, street in Tokyo. There were so many running people. Time to care about the body. From my side, I made a phone call to Adidas directly, saying that I want to work with your company. Then, very quickly, the answer came back, let's do it.
The launch of Y3 was a bold statement in a time when high fashion was just dipping its toes into the sportswear market. And for this, Yohji looked to the streets of Roppongi and his Harajuku in Tokyo. He wanted to build a bridge from his atelier to the street, and he dreamt of making quality functional items for young people. Yamamoto's vision was clear, to dress not just the body, but also the feet in the poetry of his design. The sneakers were often sculptural, often monochromatic, and unmistakably modern. They were conversation starters, pieces that would catch the eye of the discerning fashionista and the street-savvy sneakerhead alike. And then there was the arrival of the Casa. Among the pantheon of Y3 creations, the Casa stands as a testament to Yohji Yamamoto's revolutionary design to sneaker design. Launched in 2013, the Casa, with its neoprene body, wide straps and tubular sole, eschewed traditional sneaker silhouettes for something almost otherworldly. It was as if a piece of Yamamoto's nuanced drape-heavy runway had leapt onto the foot, offering a futuristic version or vision of footwear that was both luxurious and comfortable. The Case's silhouette became a signature of Y3, inspiring sneaker enthusiasts to view their collections as more than just assortments of canvas and leather, but rather as curated galleries of design. Yamamoto's sneakers ask their wearers to not just walk or run, but to ponder, to engage with fashion as one would a piece of modern art or designer furniture. Then there was the philosophy of his that went beyond sneakers. His impact on the sneaker revolution transcended his designs. He introduced a philosophy, a way of thinking about sneakers that defied convention. His approach was never about creating another running shoe. It was about crafting a narrative, a story told through the medium of footwear. Y3 sneakers are not just mere adornments for the feet, but an extension of the artistic vision that married the practical with the profound. In Yamamoto's world, the sneaker becomes a vessel of personal expression, a means to challenge the status quo. His designs are not reactive to trends, but instead timeless pieces that stand apart from the cyclic nature of fashion. Through Y3, Yamamoto invited us to reimagine the boundaries between sportswear and high fashion, between utility and artistry. And as we consider the Yohji Yamamoto's legacy within the sneaker revolution, it's not one of mere commercial success or brand recognition. It's more. More importantly, a legacy of thought-provoking design and cultural synthesis. Y3 sneakers are a testament to the potential of collaboration, to the beauty that arises when East meets West, when the runway meets the street. Yamamoto's work with Adidas through Y3 is a reminder that sneakers can be more than just products. They can be icons, they can be collector's items, and most importantly, symbols of a personal journey through fashion. His sneakers do not just tread upon the ground, they tread upon the preconceived notions of what sneakers can be, leaving behind a path for others to follow. So to conclude, my hero, Yohji Yamamoto, his foray into the sneaker world with Y3 has not just simply altered the course of sneaker history, it expanded it, it enriched it, it redefined it. His sneakers are not just worn, they're experienced, and they continue to inspire and challenge the fashion industry to step beyond the conventional, to find the extraordinary in the everyday, and to see the soul as a canvas for innovation and expression. The whole fashion world was shaken up with this sneaker revolution, and the eagle-eyed observer of cultural shifts noticed the sneaker's burgeoning clout. Thus, athleisure was born, a trend that championed comfort without sacrificing style. It was a revelation. Sneakers were now perfectly at home with yoga pants or a tailored suit, and luxury brands, previously disdainful of such casual footwear, began to lace up their own versions. There was Balenciaga's Triple S and Louis Vuitton's Archlight sneakers that became the darlings of the fashion-forward crowd, proving that comfort and luxury could indeed walk hand in hand. And in an era where celebrity endorsements were the apex of many a sneaker's popularity, along came Kanye West. He didn't just endorse a product, he created a movement. The birth of Yeezy, Kanye's brainchild, is not a tale of mere fashion evolution. It's a narrative of creating an empire, and a billion-dollar empire, that stands on the soles of foam and knit.
Hip-hop producers, are very similar to fashion designers, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so interested in fashion, is because it's the same thing. People sample from they'll take a military jacket and modernize it.
Start with a vintage reference. It could start with a previous shoe that we created that we're making a newer version on. Feelings of films and experiences that I grew up with, the shapes and the color palettes, and it's a painting, it's a spirit translated into these miniature vehicles. We work on shoes like someone would work on a car.
The Yeezy business was probably the biggest news, the biggest success in the global footwear industry since Michael Jordan teamed up with Nike to produce Air Jordans. And it became a billion-dollar business.
With that infrastructure and these ideas and this connection I have, it wasn't no way it wasn't gonna be a unicorn. Yeezy's a unicorn, it's a billion-dollar company. We were at 15 million 2 years ago. Wow. And we're gonna hit 1 billion this year. It's never, ever been heard of.
Kanye went from being a superstar music producer, performer, rapper, recording artist, to being a fashion magnate on a truly epic global scale.
The music industry is set up for you to have just enough money to afford a car, pay for your kids, a house, and be on tour for the rest of your life till you die. It ain't set up for the artist to win. It's like boxing. More people end up retarded than rich. You're trapped in this box of the idea of your perception, music industry, this, that. You're hanging out with people and you're saying, I want to do all these things, and it's just not taking you seriously. And it keeps you in a position to be, managed in a way. My last and final manager was Scooter Braun, right? I've had every manager. But what's dope about Scooter though, at the end of the day, where you really gotta give him his props. Is one thing is me and Scooter would just get on the phone and he'd talk to me for hours. And that information meant everything. Because before that, it was always like, you an artist, you a rapper. We love you for the music, yay, don't think about nothing, don't think about business, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, why are you keeping me misinformed? I felt like learning the valuation of just even the company and what I built was like a slave getting a social security number. It's like I got my rights. I know I'm worth this much. Scooter Braun is Kanye West's gateway drug to business and maybe the death of the music industry as we know it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because artists are businesses. We're not just artists.
Kanye's journey into the sneaker world began with his collaborations all the way back with Nike and Louis Vuitton. But it was his groundbreaking partnership with Adidas in 2015 that catapulted him into sneaker royalty. The Yeezy Boost, the first sneaker released under his collaboration, sold out within minutes, signaling the voracious appetite for West's design sensibility. The Yeezy line, under Adidas, expanded with models like the Yeezy Boost 350, 350 V2, 700, and each subsequent iteration, each seemed to capture the zeitgeist, leveraging a mix of scarcity, hype, and West's own larger-than-life persona. The Yeezy sneakers were not just shoes, they were symbols of contemporary culture, blending streetwear with luxury, with scarcity, with desire. The Yeezy brand's success lies in an intricate tapestry woven with the elements of exclusivity, marketing genius, and a deep understanding of the sneakers market pulse. Kanye West and Adidas crafted a brand strategy that made each drop an event, a momentous occasion that sneaker enthusiasts and casual fans alike felt compelled to be a part of. The business model was built on controlled scarcity, driving up demand through limited releases and a tantalizing drip of information and previews. The strategy not only maintained the buzz around each new release, but also created a secondary market where Yeezys could resell for multiples of their retail price. Kanye West's vision for Yeezy extended beyond the sneaker itself. He aimed to create a comprehensive lifestyle brand, from apparel to accessories. Every piece of the Yeezy collection reflected West's unique aesthetic and approach to design. The clothing line, while receiving mixed reviews, maintained the same ethos as the sneakers: high-end, minimalist, and often earth-toned. The cultural impact of Yeezy cannot be overstated. It redefined the power dynamics between celebrity and fashion, showing that a well-positioned figure could drive and sustain a brand's relevance and profitability. Kanye became a case study in how to leverage fame, artistry, and business acumen to build a brand that resonated on a global scale. And the valuation of Yeezy as a billion-dollar empire is not just a testament to the brand's sales, but of its cultural capital. And Kanye's tumultuous partnership with Adidas is often cited as one of the most successful in fashion history, and the financial fruits are evident. Back in 2019, Yeezy was valued at nearly $3 billion, and West's earnings from the brand were estimated to be $150 million that year alone, according to Forbes. This financial accomplishment reflects a masterclass in brand building. And the recent falling out with Adidas from Ye's outbursts on Jews and Nazis clearly caused a major turbulence. But still, Yeezy's valuation is buttressed by its robust online presence, a community of dedicated fans who stay loyal no matter what crazy stuff he does, and its status as a must-have amongst celebrities and influencers. The brand has transcended its roots in streetwear and is now synonymous with modern luxury. Kanye West's Yeezy line represents more than just a commercial success. It's a platform where fashion, culture, personal expression all converge. Yeezy sneakers have become a canvas for West's exploration of design and innovation, with each model reflecting a piece of his vision for the future of footwear. The Yeezy empire is built on the idea that sneakers can be both accessible, aspirational, utilitarian, and also artistic. Kanye has not just built a brand, he's cultivated a legacy, one that continues to influence and redefine the fashion industry's approach to sneakers, branding, and the power of a visionary's touch. In conclusion, the Yeezy brand stands as a billion-dollar empire, not just because of its financial contribution, but because of its ability to capture the imagination of a generation. It's an empire defined by its creator's ambition and the public's unwavering fascination with the Yeezy world. A world where each step, each release, each design is part of a larger conversation of what it means to walk in the shoes of a crazy cultural icon. And that brings me to Virgil Abloh's legacy and the brand Off-White. So what happens when you mix street cred with high fashion? Well, you get Off-White. Spearheaded by the late visionary Virgil Abloh, Off-White's collaboration with Nike turned heads and broke the internet. Abloh deconstructed 10 Nike silhouettes, reimagined them, giving birth to the instant classics like the Off-White, the Nike Air Jordan 1. His use of quotation marks, zip ties, and bold text turned each sneaker into a conversation piece, one that spoke the language of irony and subversion. These sneakers weren't just shoes, they were part of a narrative, a commentary on fashion, branding, and the zeitgeist. Each release was a chapter in the ever-unfolding stories of how sneakers could bridge the gap between the street and the elite.
It's all like an open book diary for me to be myself. You know, I'm just a kid from the US skating. That's like where I came from. Me and my friends, we participated in streetwear for like the 3 or 4 life cycles of it. I grew up printing my own t-shirts and giving them to friends for their local skate things, and then that era was dead. Supreme is my Louis Vuitton. This to me is a Margiela of its time. There's no stylist, we style ourselves, whatever feels comfortable. But then who's gonna be designing, who of that generation of all these t-shirt brands is actually gonna parlay and play with capital F fashion so that they respect it. Out of all that, I wanted to do Off-White. I'm just a creative person, and I'm fortunate enough to be surrounded by people that are 10 times more creative than me, 10 times more of a visionary than me. You know, I'm fortunate to have Kanye as a friend and a mentor, and a say in what goes on.
So sneakers became culture rebels. The sneaker's ascent into the pantheon of high fashion is not just a tale of aesthetics, but also of defiance. It's a story how once a niche subculture defied the odds, and infiltrated the hallowed halls of fashion houses, forcing them to reimagine their approach to footwear. Sneakers have challenged the notion of what is considered to be fashionable, turning the runway into a track where the swift and the stylish are celebrated. The democratization of fashion, ushered in by sneakers, has created a new language of luxury, one where the value is placed on innovation, accessibility, and street-driven authenticity. Icons like the Air Jordan, athleisure trends, Yohji's Y3, the Yeezy empire, and Off-White's conceptual masterpieces are not just footnotes in the annals of fashion. They are the headlining acts of a revolution that shows no signs of slowing down. So what is the soul of tomorrow? As I gaze into my crystal ball on fashion's future, one thing is certain: sneakers will continue to tread new ground. Sustainability and technology are the new frontiers with brands like Adidas are leading the charge with, and initiatives like their own Futurecraft Loop, a shoe designed to be remade and not disposed of. A push towards eco-friendly materials and practices heralds a new era where the sneaker not only looks and feels good, but also does good for the planet. And in the digital space too, it's also evolving rapidly, with trends and movements born of the crucible of social media. Virtual reality, augmented reality, and the burgeoning realm of the metaverse and AI are opening up uncharted territories, where the digital speaker can exist alongside its physical counterparts. Brands are already experimenting with digital footwear for avatars, and NFTs are creating a new economy of sneaker collecting that transcends the physical world. Amidst this technical or technological revolution, the sneakers designs continues to push boundaries, with collaborations becoming more ambitious and more varied. The future may see sneakers that adjust their fit in real time, change colour at the touch of an app, or even enhance the wearer's athletic performance through biometric feedback. The narrative of the sneaker in fashion is one of unexpected twists and thrilling turns, and the occasional gravity-defying leap. From the playgrounds to the podiums, to the catwalks, to the sidewalks, sneakers have redefined our notion of what footwear can represent. They've become a universal language spoken across the globe, understood by all and worn by many. So, as we tie the laces on this tale, not in a neat bow, but anticipation of the unruly knots yet to come, for the story of sneakers is far from over. It's a tale that's just getting started, with every footprint leading us into the future, as exciting and unpredictable as fashion itself. In the grand tapestry of style, sneakers have woven themselves indelibly into its fabric, ensuring no how trends may shift and shake, the sneaker will be forever en vogue, stepping boldly into tomorrow.